I'm just thinking about Joe on the open job market. And if he gets called in for an interview, what does Joe do? You haven't had a job interview in almost 20 years.
Not true. I had one less than a year ago. Here, I didn't get it.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. About a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Our current boss, you're familiar with her?
When they said we're going to bring Marilyn and team you up, you immediately applied for another gig?
No. Our current boss.
Oh, okay. You were looking for a promotion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had
good.
to apply for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the reason I asked, Joe, is when you prep for an interview, did you talk to your parents? Did you say, hey, I'm looking for this promotion. I'm going to have to interview for it. Would you mind running some questions by me?
Definitely did not say that part.
No?
Pretty sure I told them that I was going after a new gig, but I did not seek guidance.
Okay. So the reason I ask is I don't think it's inappropriate for kids to ask their parents for a little bit of help when it comes to looking for a gig, especially my wife is... She's a business professional. She's a director. She interviews people all the time for jobs. She hires. She makes those decisions. It seems like she would be an important resource. But people are losing their minds right now because, according to Resume Templates, who did a survey of Zoomers, that's Gen Z, 70% of Gen Z said that they had asked their parents for help during the job search.
Now, that's people between the age of 12 and 27.
Yeah?
No, I'm backing you up there. Don't
okay.
get huffy.
Okay.
I'm saying, especially if you're between the ages of 12 and I'd say 21.
You have no experience.
I want help from mom and dad because
Right.
they're the people in my life who've had jobs and can at least coach me with a resume, questions to anticipate during an interview.
Yes.
Things like that. Now, if I'm 25, 26, 27, if I'm a geezer Gen Zer, I would expect you're a little more prepared for an interview. Definitely to the point that you don't show up with mom or dad at the interview, which apparently a large portion of Gen Z is still doing.
They're showing up with mom and dad.
Mom and dad are showing up at the interview with them, yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that a little odd?
It depends. If I'm 14 and I'm interviewing for a dishwashing job,
100% on board with you.
Mom and dad have to give me a ride there. That seems appropriate. If I'm 24, mom and dad should not be anywhere close to it, right? Both of those ages are in that Gen Z, to your point.
31% of those respondents that you mentioned, of the 26%, so 31% of the 26% had a parent accompany them.
Crap, this is math on the radio. All right, so
to an in-person interview.
All right, so just shy of 10%. 9% of people have their parents show up with them to the interview, like sit in a waiting room.
And then 29% had them join a virtual interview. Now that I don't think is as weird because think about this.
Especially if you're living at home.
If I'm doing a virtual interview, I could have mom or dad on the other side of the camera. It doesn't necessarily mean right by me. Maybe they hold up some cards. Yes,
cheat sheets.
No.
Yeah. Isn't it a little weird if you're going in for an interview, though, and you take mom and dad? If you are mom and I've got two Gen Zs. I would feel really awkward going into that interview with my Gen Zer, assuming, as we're all imagining in our minds, that it's an unfamiliar place. However, if they're interviewing, say, at KTAR, I would walk into the building with them. I would take them to the boss's office, and I would say good luck, and then I would
But you're not going to sit there for the interview.
I probably would not, unless they're interviewing to be, say, to replace Pablo.
No,
Sorry, buddy.
You definitely would not sit there with your kid as their interview.
I would feel really awkward if it were any place except where I'm currently working or I had a close relationship with somebody. And even then, it would feel awkward.
As your partner doing this show with you, if you came to me and said, hey, Joe, sorry, I'm not going to be able to be here on Wednesday this week. I'm going with my son to interview. He's got an interview for a job, and I'm going to go sit with him.
No, I would not do that.
I would look at you like you had 47 heads.
Unless it was my buddy's place, and I wanted to kind of, grease the wheels a little bit.
Don't you do that with like a 20?
No, not my buddies.
Really?
No, it's alcohol, always.
Oh.
Yeah. That's how you.
So
how you
it's a
grease those
40.
wheels.
It's
Yeah,
not a 20.
There you go.
Got it.
Now you got it.
Okay.
Now you're getting it.
Okay.
Now you're getting it. I don't think that we should be overreacting to the survey. First of all, because I've never heard of resume templates. They surveyed just over 1,400 people. I don't think that's indicative of everyone. However, it is a pretty high percentage of people within that cohort that they interviewed that said that they had taken their parents to the interview. And for those that are taking their parents into the interview, that does seem a little bit awkward.
Thanks for watching The Chris and Joe Show. Click to see more from Chris and Joe and tap the button in the middle to subscribe to KTAR News.